Ukraine's thwarted FSB assassination plot a sign of Russia shifting to covert warfare? And are your command structures still vulnerable?
Greetings to you, honey. Greetings to Rina, and greetings, of course, to all audience. Of course, now we are still in the waiting of steps from Donald Trump, as he yesterday changed the period of his ultimatum from 60 days till next 10 or 12 days, as Donald Trump said. Now, of course, we are thinking about the situation on the front line and vulnerability of actually our, first of all, command structures and actually our soldiers, how we are actually could exist at the next several weeks or so. So I think that on the one hand, we see that Russia made every night attack on Ukrainian cities and sometimes every day, as yesterday happened at the evening at the Zaporozhye region when Russia attacked Ukrainian prison, murdered 17 people who what in this moment is this prison. So it's one more demonstration of the fact that Russia has only one plan to destroy everyone actually in Ukraine. But as for me, it's unfortunately reality of war, and saying that Ukraine is not ready for it, for me, it's hard. It's hard to prevent everything, but at least as for me, situation can be stable, and it is stable. But we will see what can happen in the next several weeks, because not only referendum, sorry, not only actually pressure from Donald Trump and his ultimatum, but so actually situation on the front line will demonstrate the future course of events. Thank you, honey.
Yes. Ms. Zuckerman, how do you see Trump's 10-day deadline? Do you see it as a genuine escalation or just a political theater ahead of the NATO summit?
To Trump, it is not political theater. From Trump's perspective, it's more of a strategic pressure move calibrated for maximum media resonance and geopolitical disruption. The goal is not necessarily to trigger immediate concessions from Moscow, but to assert control over the narrative and force a recalibration of diplomatic positions on both sides of the Atlantic. So by collapsing the timeline, Trump is projecting urgency and command and positioning himself as the decisive actor, while implying that NATO, the EU, and even Zelensky are dragging their feet. He is actually trying to make himself look to be not only a major player, but the catalyst of pressure on Russia, despite and perhaps because of the optics suggesting otherwise up until this point. Trump has been receiving a lot of criticism for the original 50-day deadline, and so this move is will put him ahead of his critics. But there is another function to what he's saying, which is psychological dominance. By demonstrating unpredictability, Trump is putting his both the adversaries and allies on edge. If Putin believes Trump might flip from mediation to more serious punitive action within days, he's forced to either prepare for more intensified economic confrontation or scramble for a diplomatic off-ramp. But this is less likely. Putin is not likely to suddenly change his mind because of threats. So he is going to be simply more desperate to find a move to get ahead of the deadline himself. On the other hand, the NATO members who hoped for a more methodical and predictable diplomatic track are under pressure to react to Trump's timetable rather than act on their own. And so the issue with paying for Ukraine's weapons and getting more engaged diplomatically is also on them. Mm-hmm. Now, Trump's records during his first term suggest a pattern of elastic deadlines, a lot of high-stake bluster and last-minute recalibrations. What we are seeing is actually nothing new. From North Korea to Iran to China, Trump has a history of threatening maximum pressure only to pivot when negotiations or domestic considerations demand it. The question is not whether Trump believes his own deadline, it's whether others believe he'll enforce it without an immediate payoff.
Well, away from deadlines, ultimatums, and political maneuvering to military warfare, Mr. Us, can the AI-guided drones and minefields realistically halt Russia's grinding advance towards Pokrovsk?
Hani, actually, AI drones played a really large role. So I couldn't say that only them can help to Russia to succeed in Pokrovsk, but just to remind that Russia made statements that Pokrovsk will be under their control approximately from the beginning of this year. Now we are situating in the end of July, end of the first month of the second half of the 2025, and Russia still not captured city of Pokrovsk. So quite possible that they can succeed there just because of the constant attack on Pokrovsk. There is very hard to build any defense of the city. Nevertheless, as for Ukraine, of course, we not glad to lose any city, but on the other hand, if we are looking from strategic perspective, it does not influence on the course of war. So that's why now, of course, we understand that Russia had advantage in live forces, but a very important moment that we hear less about technique used by Russians. It means that capturing every city lost more and more people. And for Ukraine, the formula that we losing land but Russia losing more people, for us it's actually normal because we think that Russian could not be forever and Russian soldiers could not be forever. So as we decrease their quantity, we decrease the distance to our victory. Thank you, Hani.